Good morning, squad. Today's 3-minute technique comes from Kevin, who asked about portfolios, right? And so sometimes you run into firms and they have senior partners who say, I'm the only one who needs portfolios in here. We don't need to buy this expensive product for our associates. Whenever the associates have a complex issue or question, they just come to me, right? And so I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of portfolios, but it also applies in the field when you're dealing with people who want to buy HR DSN for themselves or payroll DSN for themselves and leave their staff with just the library or something else. So the first thing is really talking about another issue, which is called the voice of the client. So when we're conveying truths and really addressing objections from prospects, a lot of times it's really important to talk from the perspective of someone else, right? And that could be a different client. And so when it comes to portfolios, and I've had this situation come up before, and I was able to say, listen, I have a senior partner of a very large firm in Charlottesville. Really, his perspective earlier was the same exact thing. But when we started talking about like his experience with portfolios and why he loves them, and one of the things he said was, look, I cut my teeth on the portfolios. Like if it wasn't for my access to the portfolios in my early days with the Big Four, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is, again, senior partner of a very large firm. And so I asked him, I was like, that type of empowerment, like puts you in a position where you had access to really the gold standard in research. How did that impact you as you were going through your day-to-day work? And he was like, well, first of all, I didn't have to go to the senior partner or anyone else at my point of need, which meant that I was more efficient in the work that I was able to do. And number two, I made the firm more profitable because I had answers at my fingertips to client questions, and I was able to serve our clients better, which led to more retention, which obviously led to more profit. And I was like, wouldn't you want to empower your associates in the same way that you were empowered, right? So sometimes you're going to be out of the office, you're going to be in meetings with clients, you're going to be out of pocket. Like how then does the efficiency of the firm suffer because people don't have access to the answers that they need because you're the only one with the portfolio? So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is economies of scale, right? So to empower an entire staff, right, puts you in a position where you are not just giving men fish or giving women fish, you're teaching them how to fish, right? So one is they can eat for a day, the other is they can eat forever. And so you actually raise the bar in terms of the levels of skill set within your own firm simply by empowering people by giving them access to something that really costs hundreds and not thousands to add users to. So when we look at sort of the long-term impact of it on profitability and productivity and efficiency within the firm and retention versus a few $100s here and there to add people to it, it really, ROI really almost becomes a term that I hate, which is no-brainer, but it really does become almost a no-brainer. So these are a couple of ways to look at that, both from an HR perspective and a payroll perspective, as well as from a portfolio perspective. So hopefully that helps. We can talk about it more if you have any questions. That is 3-minute technique of the day.